deeply personal and raw episode of Learn From Me, Sis. Today's episode is one that's been sitting heavy on my heart, but it's necessary. It's for every daughter who has been silenced, blamed, or emotionally dumped on by a parent who refuses to do the work. Before we begin, I want to offer a clear disclaimer. This episode touches on mental health, emotional manipulation, family trauma, and contains a very intense voicemail with explicit language. Listeners' discretion is advised. I also want to say this: mental health is deeply important to me. Someone who has suffered with depression and anxiety their whole entire life, I do not use the word crazy to mock or minimize anyone's struggle. When I say it, I am talking specifically about those who use their untreated or ignored mental health issues to harm others without ever taking accountability or doing the work to grow. My relationship with my mother has always been complicated. For years, sis. I've tried multiple different times to reconcile our relationship, to put aside the things that she's done, to put aside the way that she is, just to have some type of relationship with my mother. And unfortunately, sadly, it just never worked out. I was always quickly reminded of the person my mother was. Let's talk about the last time I actually saw my mother. The last time I saw my mother was February 2018. Now, she came the first week of February to help me with the kids because I was in nursing school and she wanted grandma time and she needed somewhere to live. That's the real reason why because she was yet again evicted from her house and she needed somewhere to stay. She said that she was willing to come live with us and she'll get to be a grandma. I'm like, okay, cool. She ends up leaving. Okay. So she came the February 2nd is the day that she came. She leaves my house February 20th. Why does she leave? Because her insane ways happened again. We go, like, she's not doing what she needs to do with the kids. She's harassing me nonstop about marijuana, which is like, lady, calm on. I'm not going to smoke with you every time I smoke. I'm also giving you like an eighth for your own use. I'm sorry that you smoke every single time you take a breath. That's not on me. But I'm going to just keep on giving you this money. I mean, like, keep on giving you this weed. I'm gonna smoke with you occasionally, which I did. But if she tells a story, oh God, I was starving her of nutrition. And even like my daughter would say, Grandma said that she was gonna take us to the park, but she's too tired. I was like, yeah, babe, that's why I try to tell you. Take what she tells you that she's gonna do with a grain of salt. I'm very sorry, but it's just harder for some people to follow through with what they said that they're gonna do. And she ends up leaving over a disagreement that we had because I'm being asked by my ex if there's a chance that my mom stole money and if there's a chance that she drank all of the tequila. I was probably to both, definitely to the tequila. And she also was telling my ex brother that my dad used to abuse us and he used to hit me. I'm just like, one, you've never met any of these people before. Like, you've never met my ex brother in law a day in your life. The very first day you meet him, you make up a lie and say, I used to get abused by my father. Don't get me wrong. The type of spankings that I would get as a child, definitely borderline straight out abuse from my father. No. One, he would have to be home and not be on the video game if he is home. And two, no, that never happened. And then not only that, I caught her that last week too, like going up and down the neighborhood asking people for, why are you making it seem like you're asking for crack? The way you're moving, you would be thinking that you're on crack and you're looking for marijuana, acting like this. So she leaves my house. She was like, obviously, She made it all about me, gave me a guilt trip. Obviously, it's on me. Obviously, I don't want her here. And I've never begged my mom for anything. I begged her not to go. I was like, please, like, when I mean begged, I kept on saying something before she left the house. I followed her down the street when she was walking. I went to the gas station where she was. And at that point, the fact that she kept on walking, mind you, she has nowhere to go. She has no money. Where are you going? This is Florida, babe. Where are you going? And then she just kept on going. So I stopped it at that. Wouldn't you know, hours later, I'm getting harassing text messages from some random lady telling me that God was going to smite me because of how I handled my mom. Chances are it wasn't really a random lady. It was probably just my mom texting me from a different number. But let's just say it was randomly. And she's already telling me how God was going to seek revenge for what I did. Why are you giving her my phone number? Like, it's not, look, I haven't tried several times throughout my adulthood. I am disappointed that I allowed myself to think, I haven't talked to her in like a year. Maybe now she'll be a little. Now, I'm going to play you a voicemail, but let me tell you, my mother left me. We had been having some back and forth on Instagram. It started off very generic, and then it kind of took a left turn when she asked me about her medical health, and she sent me all her test results, and she told me how her heart is now enlarged and if she should be worried and what can she do to try to correct the damage. I stood firm in all of my boundaries. I answered truthfully to her question, and instead of her hearing me, she lashed out in the way she always does, projecting, twisting the truth, and trying to guilt me. This voicemail isn't new behavior, it's just louder. It's a reflection of years of tension and unhealed wounds. So here it
Ha 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 ha. I just want you to hear me because your little thing about how my enlarged heart was from drug use was so fucking judgmental and laughed my ass off. Bitch, your mother hasn't used a recreational drug in over 30 years. Your father's doing drugs with his little wife Jackie and whatever new play bitch. But whatever. And you know what? The way you react to mental health issues, shame on fucking you, because no one afflicted with a mental health issue is asking for it. And all they want is unconditional love and acceptance. And I will never turn my back on my mother. So shame on you. I'm sorry you even got to the point where you wanted to ask people to come and take your kids, but that is not a route I would ever take. I always fucking loved my children, honored my life, and knew that I'd walk through fire in whatever fucking circumstances necessary to provide for those children with everything I had. So, Christina, fuck you all day from your bio mom because you are a hypocritical bitch just like your father.
Ooh, yeah. Now I want to pause here for a second, not to defend myself, but to be real with you. I want to say a few things before I really dive deep into all the incredible things my mother expressed to me. And not only am I going to dive deep, I'm also going to share the conversation we had throughout Instagram because it's just like I need to be transparent. Like that is what this podcast is all about. Me being transparent, and that's all I'm going to be is transparent. She hits on several different things that honestly are so outlandish. It's comical. And, right off the bat, she's like, I haven't had any recreational substance or whatever fucking verbiage she used in over 30 years. Okay. Now, I understand that is your truth. that you tell yourself to make yourself feel better. Because it's just definitely not the fucking reality. I don't want to live your life. At one point, she was prescribed prescription drugs. How do I know this, you may wonder? I know this because my 8th grade graduation, she was passed out on Oxycontin, and she was addicted to Oxycontin. Additionally, after I moved out, I lived with somebody who sold drugs. I lived with this lady and her husband. Her husband was selling said drugs and partaking in said drugs. And I know that, like, because there are several different coked out moments with this man. And my fucking state insurance card that I had to bring to my doctor's appointment had fucking knife lines on the back of it. Like, I swear it's not me. Just scan my card and no judgment, please. It's not me. It was somebody else. Now, one day when I was pregnant with my oldest, so my oldest is 18, guys. Do the math. I was pregnant, and there's a frantic. Oh, please, Marie, please. Marie, do you have anything? I'll take anything. I just need something. And Marie was a drug dealer. I knew the drugs that Marie sold. She sold cocaine. My mother is harassing, pounding at the door, trying to buy anything. Please, I need it. Ah! And then not only is she knows I'm living at this house. So it's like, you, whatever. I'm I'm there. And does she know I'm there when she opens the door? No, because I don't want to see my mother like this. Like, I've seen enough crazy moments with this lady. I don't want to see her being down. Like, I just don't. I'll hear it, but I don't want to see it. So as I'm in the room, that is right next to the fucking bathroom, she comes in, exchange money, and goes to use the bathroom. You hear her crushing up the fucking drugs, and then you hear her snorting the fucking drugs. So please don't try to tell me you know nothing you're shit on drugs because you're lying. Lie to yourself. Don't lie to me. Honestly, lie to yourself, but don't fucking lie to me. So let's move on. I digress. Then you want to talk about you're throwing in my face that you would never give up your kids. Bitch, you should have given up your kids. Like, your kids shouldn't have been homeless with you and your husband, who was toxic and dysfunctional. You were never working, but you were never parenting. There were days that you guys would send us to bed without food. The fact that I am like in 3rd grade, 4th grade, still getting spankings with my underwear and my pants pulled down is insane, lady. So, yes, you shouldn't have had your kids. And yes, I've had 2 moments in my single ass parenting journey with no type of family support that I said, I don't think I can do this. When my 2 older kids were younger, I was talking to Minnie, and I'm like, yo, I really don't think I can be the parent that they need. Like, they deserve so much more than what I can offer them. Look at me. I'm living paycheck to paycheck in a subsidized housing, and like, I barely have food to support them. Like, they deserve so much more. So first of all, how dare you try to say that, like, you know, you get a gold star for going through the fire when you didn't go through the fucking fire? How are you going through the fire when your stressors were not about concern about your kids at all? It was, how am I going to get high? How am I going to get some alcohol? Because let's not forget, when your daughters worked, you were taking money out of their pocket to get drugs and alcohol. So why are you taking money out of my pocket I've been working since I was 14 years fucking old. You taking money out of my pocket, I come home and I can see the ice cream in the freezer and the fucking weed. You're telling me that my money needed to take care of that? No, I don't think so. No. And then the second time, which she has no idea the details, is with my oldest daughter. I'm sorry. You're talking about, I'll go through fire for my kids. No, no, thank you. I'm not going through fire for my kids. Not when they're disrespecting me. Not when my fucking daughter is asthmatic and she's smoking weed in my house and she's fucking 14. No, fuck that. I'm not doing that. No, I'm sorry. You can go live with your daddy who's supporting you in this weed. You just got diagnosed with the fucking flu. Like, so that means at that time that I just caught my daughter, like, with weed in the house, with the Dutchies, with the fucking vape. A vape, bitch? You're not kidding me. Like, what? You're a whole asthmatic person and you're smoking a vape? And I asked her, this is how annoyed I was with my kid at the time because of how oblivious she was. I asked her, Jazz, what's in this vape? Oh, I don't know. I was like, wow. So you're telling me you're just smoking something. So you're smoking to nicotine, I should say. And you didn't even know that? I should not have said one word to anybody in my house, none of my kids. I should have said, hi, I missed you, and I left. Because this was the night I came back from my grandmother's funeral and everything with my sister and everything with my dad. So I really was not even in a place to be a parent, but I still had to be a parent. And you are trying to throw that in my face and give yourself a what? A data boy because you think you have one up on me? First of all, this isn't a fucking competition, but that just shows you how like deranged and sick this lady is that like you were keeping score. And then that now brings me to the last part. You talking about it disgusts you how I handle mental health. Baby, how in the fuck can somebody say that when they had a daughter saying, "Hey, I don't feel good. I don't feel okay. I'm really fucking sad. I don't want to continue to be this way." And you tell her you're okay. You'll be okay. Are you kidding me? But you handle mental health so much better. This is I was the same kid in high school when I seeked out a counselor on my fucking own. And I told the counselor, because she asked me, well, I think it would be valid if we had, your parents come in this room and we talk about everything. And I'd be like, honestly, like, I can talk to my dad because he's not as fucking crazy, but I can't talk to my mom because my mom is so fucking smart and crazy that she's gonna manipulate the situation, and I feel like you're no longer going to like see or hear because that's what it really is. You're not gonna hear what I'm saying because she's gonna influence you because that is the person that she is. So you are trying to come at me and say how I've handled mental health is wrong, but I've gotten my kids help counseling when they fucking needed it.
Let me take a deep breath in and out. And it's time to move on. Time to go back to the scripted podcast episode. I took a little detour. I got it all out. Now let's go back.
That message, that wasn't just anger. That was projection. That was manipulation. That was years of her needing me to stay small so she could feel big. And it's wild because she talks about integrity. Like, what? Where was that when I was a little girl watching the chaos unfold in our home? Where was that when I needed stability? When I needed love that didn't come with shame attached? I'm tired of being the one who has to eat the hurt, carry the guilt, and still be the responsible one. just because I'm the daughter. And what she calls weakness, I call honesty and courage. I fell right into her trap. Because that's all this was. This was all just a narcissistic person trying to get some type of outlet, try to get some type of feeling. And I fell for it. I fell for it so easily. And I'm just not doing it anymore. I'm not being the family's emotional sponge. I'm not being silent so other people can keep their image polished. And I'm not going to keep taking the hits just because I'm the strong one. The strength has been survival, but now it's going to be my shield. I care for my mother. I really do. I'm also learning that loving someone doesn't mean letting them destroy you. Love without accountability is straight up manipulation. And you know what? I refuse to pass any more emotional damage down to my kids. They deserved a healed mom, and I deserve peace. And I also deserve to know I don't need to keep trying anymore with her. There has been enough evidence in my adulthood that has showed me this lady is not going to change anytime soon. And that is something I just need to hold on to. And remember, the next 6 months from now, when she responds to me. Ah, this was hard to share, but I had to. Because if you're listening and this sounds like your story too, you're not alone, sis. You can love them and still walk away. You can care and still choose your sanity. You don't owe anyone your destruction, not even the people who raised you. So, let's get to the healing of this all. My journal prompt for you guys for this week is this: what emotional weight have you carried that was never yours to hold? And what would your life look like if you finally put it down? Take your time with this journal prompt, guys. Thank you for listening as always. Thank you for witnessing my truth. And thank you for walking this healing journey with me. I'm Christina Jade. Thanks for tuning in, sis. If this episode spoke to you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with another woman who needs to hear it. Drop a comment below. I would love to hear your thoughts or stories. And remember, we are healing, growing, and learning together. See you in the next one.